yes you will. And welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Superhero Wednesday, the day of the week where this doggy's gonna get webbed to fuck, son. Hey, don't stand on Bulbasaur like that. It's proper standing on Sleepy Bulbasaur. Get the fuck out of here. You'll do nothing. Welcome back to the channel, the day of the week where we go talk about anything nerdy, weird. There's no flexing today, even though I can flex B's newest Funko Pop. It's the Yeti from Monsters Inc. But today, I'm going to try and make today as short as possible. The only reason why I'm going to try and make it as short as possible is because this is a video we did ages ago. I'm talking, alright dog, I'm talking about more than a year ago. But I'm going to do it again anyway because I want to give your thoughts and hear your thoughts, more importantly, and give my opinion again on this topic, which, why am I keeping it a secret? We know what it is because of thumbnail and title. Because of a certain film happening, Spider-Man and No Way Home, you've just been out for a big poo in a way. I had to pick your poo up and nearly got some of my little pinky. Yes, so big spoiler alert. Because of the events of Spider-Man No Way Home popping out, we saw the coming together, the epic, beautiful, amazing coming together of the 3 live-action Spider-Men, even though not including, obviously, the Japanese one wasn't there. But Tobey Maguire's, Andrew Garfield's, and of course Tom Holland's. And it re-sparked up another debate and gave a lot more love and appreciation for a certain Spider. But it brought the debate up again. Which Spider-Man, live-action Spider-Man actor and Spider-Man himself and Peter Parker is the best? And like I said just before, I have done this video. I did have my list. My original list went in from, even though it's the least favourite, doesn't mean they're bad. It's just my personal least favourite. But it went Maguire, Maguire, Garfield, then Holland as number 1. I'm going to tell you right now, videos, my list has not changed. My list will still be saying the same. All right, dog, we'll try and see if you need another wee-wee. Come here, dog. Come here. Tell the visuals what's up. Tell the visuals quickly who your favourite Spider-Man is. Right, give us a for Andrew Garfield. Give us a for Tom Holland. Give us a for Tom Maguire. Have we said that one? Andrew, for the other one who I haven't said. Wait, is your favourite one the live-action one? The Japanese live-action one, I meant. Because they're all live-action, damn. But yeah, so the order's still going to say the same, but we are going to break down. Can you open doors now? What the fuck? Because we will break down each one, not too much, because again, I've already done it and I've still given you my initial list, so I don't need to rank them or anything. It is going to still say the same. I will say that the amount of love that come back for Andrew Garfield's Spider and stuff was crazy. He got a bigger reaction than Tobey Maguire. I completely agree with what people have been saying online as well about the Andrew Garfield stuff. It's just, I disagree with all the people saying, oh, now you love him. I've always loved him. Because, yeah, I have always loved him. And my opinions, because you can go check the old video, it's all still there. But if people want to give him love and appreciation now, more than ever, you shouldn't really knock them. If you're saying, I've always loved him, you should have loved him ages ago. No, well, no, maybe they've just found that re-spark, or maybe they've just seen what we've been able to see all of a sudden because of this, maybe. But yeah, don't give anybody grief because now all of a sudden the craze for him is going up and it wasn't back then. At least it's going up. Yeah, I thought I'd go on a little weird rant there. But yes, let's kick off with Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire, the original out of this these Spider-Mens. 3 films, 3 what I personally think cool films. Number 3 a little bit cringy and a little bit yeah, but at the same time the cringe is amazing. The memes we get from it today are just beautiful. I loved him as Peter Parker. I always preferred him as his Peter Parker as I did to his Spider-Man. His Spider-Man was great. His interactions with the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, even Venom and Sandman and stuff. His relationship with James Franco's Harry Osborn was fantastic. The stories themselves in these films were great. And I really do believe he delivered, especially at the time it was, the early days of the X-Men, the early 2000s and whatnot, a perfect, over-the-top, very comic booky Spider-Man. His films definitely did feel more comic booky in terms of how it looked and art style and how it's filmed, cinematography and stuff. That felt more comic booky than maybe the rest. The suit was great. The symbol was great. He was great. All of it was amazing. Him and MJ, epic. I really do think that he did an amazing job, and I love him as our older, more mature, more seasoned Spider-Man out the 3. You feel that on screen about when they're talking and stuff. You get that veteran experience feel from him, and he was a great Spider-Man, but unfortunately he still stays at number 3 for me. 2, again, we don't divide this because I would have told you this. It's not a big surprise. Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was without a shadow of doubt the best visual representation of Spider-Man. The way that he emphasized how he was feeling, whether it be an angry, happy, silly, goofy thoughts, and his body movements and stuff were always fantastic. And he does bring it again in this film, like the bit where he hangs on the scene and it all just resonates and it flows beautifully. It's amazing. Even the mask reveal when he gets brought through the portal from Ned's sling ring, it's just absolutely stellar. The bits that I take away from the Amazing Spider-Man films, 2 films, obviously, we had Electro, Green Goblin shenanigans, Rhino shenanigans, Lizard. The biggest key takeaway components, though, that I appreciate from his performances was his absolute battle, his inner battle between, should he be with Gwen? Should he not break the promises to Captain Stacy? How he truly feels about her, what he would do for her and stuff. And the sheer love between Gwen and Peter was just absolutely amazing. Even from the shot of him at her grave, and the seasons change, and the clock dialing to the comic book issue number that she dies on, and him not being able to save her, the hand coming from the web. His you felt his pain through his performance, for Andrew Garfield's performance, and how much it truly hurt him to lose his Gwen. I lost my Gwen, she was my MJ. It's like, oh my god. And then to see him from No Way Home able to kind of rescue and redeem himself a little bit because of how he's able to save MJ. Tom Holland Peter gets taken away, chucked out the Green Goblin, but Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man goes down, swoop, the Amazing Spider-Man, and he's able to grab MJ. And he can see him and it really did fucking hit you. Oh my god, it fucking broke me down inside, because his films originally, I remember they got so slated by a lot of people when they first come out. I went with somebody to see the Amazing Spider-Man 2, who was into these sort of films and that. And it was the first screening, he'd never been to a new screen. We went, and he definitely was like, that was shit. And I was like, that was fucking beautiful. He goes, he said to my mate, he goes, should have been the Peter Parker film, not the Spider-Man. And I thought, well, that's what it was. And as a huge fan of Spider-Man / Peter Parker, I am so happy we got that. I don't mind getting a Peter Parker story, because, learn about his, parents, where they're gone, and all that. We had the deleted scene with his dad at the grave and stuff. And it was just he gives such a great, heartfelt, wear his heart on a sleeve sort of performance. And he is a great Spider-Man, how he interacts with the villains, the comedic moments, like I said, the body movements, but the raw emotion that ensues when he's performing with, I can't remember the fucking name now, Gwen. Her name will come back to us fucking as soon as I record this video, I bet you it does. But yeah, he was still amazing, but he's still number 2. Obviously that leaves us with Tom Holland. Now, why do I love Tom Holland so much? Why is... Oh, you're coming back now. You're coming back some Spider-Man goodness. Look at your fat head on the camera. Don't you wobble that camera. Well, you only wobbled it a little bit, considering you did like a handstandy thing there. I've just took a break in between takes and I've just let you out. But yeah, Tom Holland. Yes, Tom Holland. For me, the ultimate Spider-Man. Purely because I love the innocence and somewhat naivety, is that the word, that he brings to his portrayal of Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Obviously, there's the youthfulness, of course, that helps. A lot of people were complaining about how can you be a teenage kid when, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, you look a lot older, blah, blah, blah. That never really bothered me, especially when you can explain it with multiversal crack. I absolutely loved his wow, in terms of, when he was... fighting Captain America, who got brought into the MCU, and they're up against, Team Cap, Team Iron Man, and it's all wow about it. It's Cap and all this kind of shenanigans. I fucking loved all about the youthfulnism and the youthful side of him, and it's crazy, it's nuts. And we went through the learning curve with him about how he should be a better Spider and become the Spider more. And I love his constant. In fact, it gets explored so much, so it gives more reason to my love for him through No Way Home. I love the way he portrays his battle between Peter Parker and Spider-Man, how to balance both, how to have one with the other. Can he have one with the other? Can it only be one and not the other? And it kind of, that question gets told and kind of answered in this. The way that Tom Holland is as an actor, I know I probably am extremely biased to him because I love him so much, but I love all the heartbreaker moments, the moments from Spider-Man Homecoming where he's looking in the puddle, which is the rubbish bin on, he's like, no, you're Spider-Man, you can do this, and it just gets me every single friggin' time. the athleticism that also that Tom Holland can bring to the role, because it's no not mockery against the other two, because if they're not as athletic, they're just not as athletic. It's not really their fault. He's obviously naturally athletic with his dancing and stuff, and it brings that to the role, and it just all flows and comes out so beautiful. And I know we always say, you know, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine should have been together. RDJ and Iron Man always should have been together. I personally truly do feel the same as this. I honestly think that he was so destined and born to play Spider-Man. He just absolutely knocks it out of the park for me. I also really love how carried away he can get with it all, the swinging, the being on the phone, and sometimes getting a bit ahead of himself and taking on challenges that are maybe a bit too thingy. And I love the fact that the other Spider-Man, don't get us wrong, did fail. Obviously, Andrew Garfield failed to save Gwen. But there's a lot more, for me, failures in this. You know, the disappointment that we feel with him when you think he's let down Iron Man and Tony Stark. And again, him with Tony Stark eventually snaps and ends up dying. Just, I don't know, all this connection. Maybe you could say that he benefits from being with, you know, the other Avengers, you know, the other heroes, and the others didn't. They failed that. Not they didn't fail it, but they weren't with that. They were on their own. I can't wait to see this version as well go up against any form of the symbiote, whether it be Toxin, Carnage, Venom, whoever the fuck it may be, or whatever they're doing in the future. I cannot wait to see what happens there. I cannot wait to see where he takes us. That moment ending in Spider-Man Far From Home, when he's in the snow, he's going along, it's just so beautiful and amazing. And yeah, I personally think he's just absolutely born for the role, and he does such an amazing job. And again, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I love Tom Holland, but I love Tom Holland when he becomes Spider-Man. Before that, I'd vaguely sort of heard of him a little bit, you know, this up-and-coming actor doing this stuff, you know, dancing and whatnot. But until he become Peter Parker in Spider-Man, that's where my true love for him, because if I ever met him, I would love to shake his hand and say, you've completely honoured. The other two have as well. I'm not discrediting them. The other two have done this. But I would love to shake his hand and say, you have made the person, because Spider-Man, I've talked about this on the channel so many times, Spider-Man is the main reason why I am like this, why I live like this, why I collect, why I do. It's because of Spider-Man. And I'd love to shake his hand and say, thank you for bringing so much honour and just doing that role so much justice and so perfectly for me. You've knocked it out of the park. I think I'd probably cry if I met him. I'd just love to absolutely tell him thank you for that. But visuals, there we go. Still the same list, but please, the conversation's still going with who is the best because of what's happened with the Spider-Man No Way Home. And I want to keep the conversation going. I want to know what you guys think. Hopefully that's a bit shorter, because I don't want to do another video, the exact same video with the exact same outcomes and probably the exact same answers. I want to know what you guys think, and I'm sorry, hopefully it's short enough and I'm justifiably enough to do a second video on the same topic. But visuals, they're my five. My favourite live-action Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland in order. Who's yours? Let me know in visuals. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. We'll just keep being you and keep on web slinging on.